First off, I just want to say it was an honor to be able to call John a brother of mine. As we all know, he was a very special person, a very unique person, someone that we all miss dearly, and we can fall back on those memories, but man, I know I'm speaking for myself, I really do miss him, and I miss his energy most. You know, I think about all the good memories we have, but the main thing when I think about John is just him being him, honestly. Just his energy, his vibe, it was honestly unmatched. Very loyal guy. You know, if you were one of his guys, he would let you know that you were one of his guys. And man, he's truly missed in times like today. And I think about him every day, and I know he's watching down on all of us. So, John, I love you, bro, and I can't wait to see you again, dog. Love.
Hello, King family. I hope you guys are doing good and staying healthy through this pandemic. A memory of me and John. So, you know, it was a little bit hard to think of one from, you know, all the memories that we've had from school to basketball to just hanging out. You know, some inappropriate ones like him mooning a teacher in the middle of the hallway when there's students everywhere. But I'm sure you guys don't want to talk about that one, so we'll just leave that one for another day. My memory is of John. John knew my family. He used to come over all the time, so he knew my little brother's name. My little brother's name's Sebastian, and he would call him Stebastian with a T. So one day, me and John are walking home from school, and there was this little Hispanic boy walking towards us, and John goes, "Is that Sebastian? Is that Sebastian?" And I'm like, "That ain't my little brother, man. I don't know what his name is, but I doubt it's Sebastian." And John goes up to the little kid, and he's like, "What's your name?" And the little boy's like, "Sebastian?" And me and John just look at each other and just start dying laughing. And what makes it more funny is obviously John's laugh just, you know, cracks you up even more. So we're both just sitting there dying, and this little kid just walks away, and it was hilarious. And by the way, I still call my little brother Sebastian. So yeah, that was my little mini memory.
Hey, how you doing, Miss King? Two very memorable moments with John. I'm making real quick. One, we always used to go to basketball games and you know, watch the sophomores and stuff play. So we'd always used to go to the concession stand, and he used to always, "Come on, G, let me get this. You know, buy me this, buy me that." I'm all right, I got you. You know, I got you. And then 10 minutes later, where's John at? I look over, he had the concession stand buying his own stuff. Oh man, you had your own money. Why are you asking me for stuff? But that was always John. Always trying to nickel and dime everything, man. That's John. Then another thing, while I'm in the car, actually, we used to always drive, you know, driving to go to games or driving to go do something. And as soon as I tweaked, like, you know, made a sharp turn or something like that, or, you know, going a little bit too fast for him, all he would do is reach over to his seatbelt and put it on. And excuse my language, I'll say, "John, what you doing?" He goes, "That's to save your black ass." So that's my favorite two memories of John. I love you, Miss King. You guys have a good day.
Hey everyone, I hope everyone's quarantining well during this time. My biggest memorable moment with John would probably be no matter what time it was, he knew he could come knock on the door. 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. He was like a son to my mom. He was family to us. I know he put a smile on everybody's face. So during this time, just want everybody to be happy. Celebrate his time once again. No sad faces, but yeah.
A funny memory that I have with John is when he came to visit us when we lived in Green Bay. And me, Junior, and John, we like, I don't know, we was like walking and we like end up going to a park or whatever. And you know, Junior being a big cousin, he was like, y'all gotta do everything I do. And so he was like doing stuff like jumping over fences and jumping from like log to log. And obviously I couldn't do the stuff, but John was like doing it. But he was doing everything like better than Junior. Like Junior would jump over one log, and so John would jump over two. And it was so funny because Junior kept on getting mad and mad because he was like, he was the big cousin, but John was doing everything better than him. And me and John was just laughing so hard because Dooney was getting madder and madder. But yeah, that was such a good day. I miss him so much. I love you, John.
I have two memories of John. One when me and Dominique got real drunk when she used to live on Ridge, and I slept on her couch, and John came in and asked me why I was on his couch. And the other one is when Dominique moved to New York, and John looked like he was about to cry when we were about to drive off.
First off, I want to start out by giving my, my love and my care to the entire King family. Some of my memories that I had with John would definitely be, when I was a sophomore and he was a senior. That whole basketball season. Him and Earl, rest in peace to both of them. Just the endless jokes that they had. John had that one-of-a-kind smile that no matter what type of mood you may have been in, whether you were upset, you were down, you were frustrated, you couldn't help but laugh. Once he gave you that smirk with his mouth closed, and John was just he was a special dude, and I feel blessed to have shared the time with him that I got to. Again, my love and care to the entire family, and rest in peace, John, and rest in peace, Earl.
Hi, John's family. This is Sarah. When I think of John, the list of memories goes on and on. But my most vivid memories of John are just having fun in high school, being carefree young kids, playing at the park, driving around Skokie with nothing else to do, hanging out outside while it was warm, and hanging out in the basement when it was cold outside. I miss John more than words can describe. My heart is with your family. We miss you, John. We love you so much, and can't wait till we see each other again.
Hi, my name is Lisa. When asked to do this video, I felt very honored. My fondest memory of John King is coming home and seeing John King making himself welcome to anything that was either in the fridge, or that was being cooked, or that was on the oven. John was always a free-spirited, welcome person and easily to be loved. I felt very proud to be a part of his life. I felt be a part of his life as a friend and as a very close neighbor, and as well as a pretend big sister. John was always athletic, fun-loving, carefree, and John is a person that will always be remembered and never forgotten.
Well, the memory I have most is when I first came back home to Chicago with my oldest son, Malachi. He was a baby at that time, and John was staying at his grandmother's house, and we came to visit. And for some reason, he was under the impression that Malachi was his baby brother. I tried explaining to him that Danielle was my cousin. He was not having it. The next day, we had a get-together, and John had on a blue shirt, Malachi had on a blue jacket, so he was very convinced that Malachi was really his baby brother. And that is my most memorable memory of John.
All right, so how you doing? First and foremost, I just want to say that, today is a day of celebration. And it's for one of my brothers, It's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my boy, I don't think about John. He literally always crossed my mind, just off the fact of the endless memories, the endless things. There's not nothing that I can think about from 5th grade all the way 6th grade, whatever grade we was in, all the way up until now. that I can't think of that he wasn't a part of, that he wasn't always, the one to make me laugh, the one to make everybody laugh, everybody in the room. If John was around, you was laughing. There was nothing you can do. But that's really just my main memory that I remember of him is, whether it was in the car with Sam Sharple's dad going to practice, the whole car ride, we cracking up. Or whether it's basketball practice and we getting ran through the ground by coach, but at the end of the day, John is just making us laugh, keeping us in the fight. He was always just, energy. And that's one thing that, I've learned from him, is to just constantly have that energy, that strive, that goal, and always see everything in a positive, see everything as far as, its true value. And that's what it continues to this day, that continues to make me push and continue to do the things that I do. I miss him. I'm always miss him. I'm always thinking about him. But that right there, that's my brother.
So I remember when John was in Danielle's stomach, and we just knew that she was going to have twins.
I have no idea.
She was big, y'all. And I also remember that I stayed home with Dominique while she went to the hospital to have John.
Hey, what's up? This is Petty Officer Knight, a.k.a. Kevin Jr., and I wanted to tell you a story about John. I used to visit Chicago all the time with my family, and we would go over to Danielle's house, and I was always trying to hang out with Dion and Damo because they're like close to my age, but John always wanted to hang out with me, man. It was so cool. I'd be like, oh, I'm actually staying at Grandma's house, or I'm staying over here, and be like, Mom, can I go over there?
Hi, family. I want to start off by saying how much I miss you all and how I can't wait for you all to visit Vegas when this whole pandemic is over. I hope you all are staying safe during these uncertain times and just getting by each day as best as you can. So I'll hop right into it. I want to say that my most memorable memory with John, I have a couple, so I can't even put my finger on just one. But I remember him being in high school in the hallways and him running into me and being like, Janice, where you going, Janice? What you doing, Janice? Who you with, Janice? Where you going? What you doing? And just being funny and having a smile on his face. We lived right across the street from each other, so our families were like family. We had an open door policy where if you needed anything, you needed to talk, or you needed somewhere to stay, like our families were there for each other, and that door was always open. But I remember John, he would come to my house to beat curfew. So he'd be late for curfew, but he'd make it seem like he was at my house the entire time. And I remember him and my mom, like going back and forth at it. And my mom would be like, no, John, you need to go home and and he'd be like, Miss April, I can't go home. I'm going to get on punishment. I can't get on punishment. It's a dance this week, or I got something to do this week. And my mom would be like, okay, well then you could just stay here until the morning. And then she would immediately go text his mom and tell him like, John is here. He didn't want to be curfew or whatever. So then John would still end up getting in trouble in the morning, but that was nice. I also remember him coming over to eat all the time. Like John would be at our door 3 a.m. knocking, what you cook, Miss April? What you doing? That was the first thing he would ask when he came in the door, like, Miss April, what you cook, Miss April? And my mom, it got to the point where my mom was like, hey, John, if you're going to be coming over here, you need to help me cook. You need to help me do something. And I had a little brother, and he was about 6 to 8 months at that time. And, John loved kids, and kids love John. So John would have Javon on one of his hips, and then he used the other hand to be pattying out ground beef patties for my mom. And he'd be like, Miss April, I don't know how to do this, Miss April. And she'd be like, you doing it right. You doing it right. Keep doing it. And then like 5 minutes, he'd trickle off and he'd be gone. John was just a breath of fresh air, and we loved him very much. His smile, his laugh, his energy that he gave off. He's truly one of a kind. And, I can't believe it's been 6 years since, seeing his smile or hearing his voice or hearing his laugh. It's just like, I can't believe it. John was probably one of my best friends, and we'll always love and we'll always miss him. And I think that we should just continue to live in his legacy. Like, we all could benefit from being a little bit more like John. And
Yeah, so that's my memory. I love you, family. Take care. I hope you all have a happy holiday, and I miss you.
Y'all, I just wanted to come on here and talk about one of my favorite memories of John. I truly admired how much he loved Jonas, and I truly admired the sibling relationship I had with Dominique. Like, he always had Dominique back, you know, whether they was always complaining about the same thing together, you know, they always had each other back. Like, I truly admired, you know, their sibling relationship. You know, I admired how much he loved Jonas, as if, you know, he was more than just an uncle, but as Jonas was his own child. So I just really loved seeing how caring and loving he was of like everyone around him that he loved. And that's what I really miss about John.
One of my most memorable moments, one of my favorite moments that I had with my cousin was actually at my mother's wedding when she got married to Linnell. And the moment was, we was taking pictures, me, him, Junior, Tia. We was taking pictures and whatnot. And what the moment was really about for me was that I was actually in a messed up mood. I ain't agree with that, what was going on. And I didn't want to be a party pooper either. But as soon as I see my cousin, like when we was taking pictures and whatnot, like cuz just put me in like a real cheerful mood. And that's like how John was for the most part, especially, I mean, that's how I always felt around him. I always had good, positive thoughts and vibes and stuff. Like, John was real enjoyable to be around. Like, he felt good being around cuz, for real. Nigga always smiling, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just felt real good to be around him, man. I'm gonna miss him.
And everybody, I would just like to start by asking God to continue sending his prayers and blessings over to Miss Danielle and Dominique and the whole King family who has dealt with this pain for the past 5-6 years. You know, this video is for my brother John King, just all the fun, crazy, exciting memories, you know, we had. I could always remember just the positive person that John was, and, you know, he was always outspoken, just a warm-hearted individual. He had never, from what I've seen, had never let someone go without something. If he was with you at the time and he had it, you had it. And that's just how it was for the longest time I could ever remember, you know. I remember days when we would go on our basketball tournament trips for AAU and stuff like that. Some days I ain't have snack money, meal money, lunch money, or whatever. He always looking out. Miss Danielle, he was always looking out. And that was just one thing that you instilled in him, and Tank had instilled in him as a young brother, just to, you know, be there for your people, be there for your friends and family and stuff, because you never know, like, when someone is in need, and you never know, like, when you would need something. And that was just one thing that was one thing that I could respect about John. You know, he was always, you could always come to him and he had open arms to you, man. And man, do I miss you, brother. I miss you a lot, and just, I love you, G.
Love and fond memories. My favorite memories with John will always be at Danielle house during the summer, hanging out in his room, bothering him, begging for me to leave him alone and go elsewhere.
So I am connected to the King Dyer family because of Miss Dominique. John was a bonus. John used to get on my everlasting nerves for several reasons, but mostly because he was just an annoying little brother, like most little brothers. And so I also had an annoying little brother, and I connected them to be, you know, annoying together, and they were. And so for whatever reason, my annoying little brother started calling me Skeeta. And so then, of course, John started calling me Skeeta. And it's just the way he says things is used to just get under your skin, because he'll walk in and be like, hey, Skeeta, and like curl up his lips. Like, why is all that necessary? It's not necessary. And so he used to annoy the hell out of me. But John was the skinniest fat person I've ever met. Like, the boy can eat. My God. I feel like the restaurants knew his name. The corner store when y'all lived near Howard knew his name. And when y'all moved to Christiana, the Dingios people knew his name. The person that worked at the gas station knew his name. Boy, why? How are you the skinniest fat person on earth? Like, the boy just ate all the time and would ask me for like, hey, Skeety, you got $1? Hey, Skeety, you got $0.25? Hey, Skeety, to do what, John? To buy some Flamin' Hots? To do what, John? To go get some fries from Dingios? The boy can eat. The last thing that comes to mind is when we were preparing for his homegoing service. I reached out to several kind of local vendors, because again, John likes to eat, just about donating food. And without hesitation, Wildfire, and several just random people, and Dingios donated all of it at no cost. And I think for a small business owner to lose money, right, to not profit off of something, says a lot about the character of the person that they're willing to do that for. So I will forever remember Skeeta, that infectious smile and personality, and how loved he was, because I think he exuded the love first.
R.I.P. Brody. We miss you down here, man. We ain't forgot about you. I got a lot of memories with John. One of my favorites, ain't the best, but one of my favorites is me and John was about 15, 14. We got a hold to a BB gun. For some odd reason, me and John thought it'd be a good idea to shoot everybody that walked past the window. Dogs and all. Whoever came past the window was getting hit with a BB. We ended up breaking the man's car window. Somebody ended up calling the police, said we had a real gun. Tank came upstairs trying to kill both of us. We ended up going to jail. I think they separated me and John for about 3-4 months after that. But that was my dog, man. You know, we all laughed about it at the end, man. R.I.P. Brody. Always love.
Hey, cuz, what's up? Miss you, boy. Going on 6 years. One thing I can say, man, you had in common is a smile, because they say I smile a lot, and I light up a room when I smile. So I know you always smiled a lot, and I know you light up a room when you smile. That being said, love, cuz, and you continue to rest easy going on 6 years, man. Love you.
So, one of the funniest moments I have with John probably is like when me and him stayed with Dominique in Rogers Park in the 1 bedroom. I don't even know how that even worked. But we stayed with her, and he came in with JB Alberto's and did not offer anybody any. So we asked him for some, and he was acting all funny, talking about, yeah, y'all can have a piece. And we was all looking at him like, why we can't have more than a piece? So it escalated so fast. And so we all just started arguing, and he stopped in the middle of the conversation and say, wait, Jamila, you need to go back to your mama house. You don't even live here.
When I think about my fondest memories of John, I think about a couple of things. There's like so many different things. But I had to sum it down. And when I sum it down, I think about this. I don't know how it is. John had this way of saying, Auntie Kim. And the way he said it, you felt the love. And he had the biggest, prettiest smile ever. And, you know, he's just lovable, adorable. But what, you know, something that made me feel really, really special is that John would call me and ask me about the Packers. I know John about the Packers. Boy, I don't know. I didn't care about the Packers, but I lived there. And so that enticed him. That was exciting to him. So I thought it was really cool that I was somebody, I
I felt very special. I would say this. I felt very special to get him any type of game, team affiliated, wear or anything. I remember I collected these coins for him, and I was collecting them, trying to get all 50 of them. Wow. I still have that collection. But John, those are my most found memories of him. Will forever be his smile, his character.
Hello, world. This here is for my nephew, John. I miss you, homie. I love you forever. My fondest memory about you when I worked at Popeyes, you always wanted me to bring them lemon meringue pies home. Always chicken. Your mama ain't never let y'all eat that mess, though. She always, Derek, stop bringing that stuff here. Stop bringing that stuff. Them kids don't need that. But in the same token, I miss you and I love you. Rest in peace, nephew, forever. I love you, boy. Hello, it's me again. I wasn't done. Because I couldn't start, let alone finish, because it hurt my heart to think about my nephew not here with me today. But besides that, though, this for my nephew. I love you unconditionally, always. I will always keep you in my heart and my soul. I'll never forget you. All my times with you was beautiful, and they was great. And I'll never forget them as long as I live.
John King, my beautiful angel, I can't believe that it's been 6 years since you've been gone, man. Like, that's so crazy. You are truly missed down here, I can tell you that right now. And your name's talked about on a daily, so you were definitely a special soul, for sure. The most memorable memory I have of John would probably be anywhere we went, he was dancing. Anywhere we went, he was dancing with somebody, he was dancing to music, he was just always happy, always had a smile on his face.
My best memory of my brother. I remember we stayed on Christiana, and every night he'd call me before I come home, like, you finna come in, right? I'll be like, yeah. He'd be like, make sure you bring some good herb, some good weed. I'll be like, cool. And then we'll wait till Danielle go to sleep. This when I had the big green van, and we were parking the parking lot of Dingios, and we'll sit back, and he'll just be telling me everything, stuff he going through. I'll be telling him stuff I be going through. We'll just be talking. Then every night we'll go over the bridge to Wingstop, and the lady knew us. She knew him by name. Every restaurant, Dingios, every restaurant up through there knew him by name. They knew our order before we even, as soon as we walked in the door, they knew our order. So, and Taco Bell. So, like, them the best memories I got that I keep hold of. Just them talks we had at night sitting in my car and stuff. Yep.
So some of my most memorable moments growing up with my brother John, they were always very interesting, very funny. So I wanted to start off with when he swam for Miss, and me, my mom, and my dad, we would always go to the swim meets pretty much like every weekend, and John was just like so dedicated. And I was just always proud, and it was just really exciting just to like be able to experience that. Like, John was like one of the very few like black boys on the swim team, but he just like kept pushing, and like every year like he would just get better and better. And that was just something that like I really, really loved about him, was the fact that he was really, really dedicated to swimming. Another memorable moment that I have with my brother is when we lived on Christiana. And John used to steal my mom's car a lot. So he stole her car this one particular day, and he knocked the rearview mirrors off. I can't remember if it was like 1 or 2 rearview mirrors, but I remember John calling me, and he like, Damo, like, I knocked off the rearview mirror.
Like, you think she gonna be able to see it? And I'm like, yes, John, of course she gonna be able to see it. Like, I came downstairs and I'm like, the whole review mirror is gone. It was crazy. Another memorable moment that I have is when we were both in high school and my mom used to take our phone at 9 o'clock. So John was like fed up. He was like, man, ain't nobody about to be giving their phone at 9 o'clock. Like, I'm not doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. So I, of course, had to turn my phone in. My mom threatened to continuously turn John's phone off. John would like end up keeping his phone sometimes. Or sometimes he'd end up giving it to her, or she'd end up cutting it off. Another memorable moment that I had is during like Christmas. Like, ever since we were little, my mom always like made Christmas like special for us. Like, even though we knew like Santa Claus wasn't real, like after we got like a certain age, we still knew like Santa Claus wasn't real, but it was like a tradition. And me and John would like, depending on like who like woke up first, we would like, you know, wait till each other was awake, and then we would go in the living room and open up our Christmas gifts. That's a really big memory that I have. Like, we did that up until we were like in high school. Like, we would literally like open our Christmas gifts together. And another memorable moment that I have is when I had Jonas. Like, I remember that like it was yesterday. Like, him and Sabrina, they had came to the hospital. And I remember like John was so excited. Like, he was so excited. He was really excited to see Jonas. And from that moment, like, it was like he was attached. Like, he would help me babysit like him and Sabrina. Like, he would always bribe me, like, you gotta buy me Buffalo Joe's, or you gotta buy me Dingios, or you gotta give me some money, or whatever. Like, whatever it is he wanted, like, I made sure like I gave it to him. But he was always there to help me with Jonas. Like, always. Like, he was just like so attached. And another memorable moment is when I moved to New York. And I remember like I came downstairs and he gave me a hug, and like, you know, like when I looked in his face, like he was so sad. Like, I could just tell how sad he was that I was leaving. Like, it's so crazy because I said I wasn't gonna cry, but I can't help it. Like, these are all really happy, memorable moments.
Gotcha.